All right, because once you're under the 501c charter, right, your church is a part of government. Your church is written by the government. So whatever the government is pushing out there, damn it, if your church is backed by the system, you better be pushing what the government's pushing. All right, you better not be teaching anything contrary to what the government wants you to be pushed out. All right, first one, yeah.
Yes, this is Romans 13:1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers.
Right. See, they're going to read the scripture and they're going to say, see, let every soul be subject unto the higher powers. The government is going to, well, you know, people that are versed in the precepts, they're going to read this and they're going to be commanded to read that precept to sway the minds of the people to accept the new world order. Because that's really what people are doing. They're accepting this idea of this one world system. Go on.
For there is no power but of the Most High.
Because people have been taught, or the word has gotten out by us and other, you know, hardcore Christians, that the mark of the beast is the very church. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna get these people, Salakia, they're gonna get these pastors and tell them to read that precept so that the people can accept that it's okay because the Bible said, read it again.
So Romans 13:1, let every soul be subject unto the higher powers.
Yeah, because the scripture says that let the souls be subject to every higher powers. So in other words, that means the government. So if your government's telling you to do something, you gotta obey by it. So then people are gonna think, well, the Bible said it, so shouldn't be a problem. But they don't understand what this. But see, the people are not gonna understand what this is really talking about. So let's read the whole thing.
For there is no power but of the Most High.
Right.
The powers that be are ordained of the Most High.
Exactly. You see that? So he's going to read that verse and close the book. But what it's really saying is you're going to go according to whatever empire that you're under. Like right now, the empire that we're under right now is the Roman system. So we have to follow their rules to a certain degree, but it shouldn't get to the point where you do away with the laws of the Most High completely.
It's relative.
What's that, brother?
It's relative.
It's relative,
when it doesn't contrary to your own worship. If I can just make a point with you got that Nebuchadnezzar with Daniel and Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They took a stand for their God. They took a stand. They said no, and they was willing to go into the lion's den, and they was rescued. And the fiery furnace, they was rescued. But the point where the most I wanted to see them say no, taking their stand. So you got that old saying: if you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. So that's what they did, and that's exactly the same principle.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah.
To say no.
You say no, but what this is saying is look. I mean, I'm gonna break it down like this. Let's read this again. Romans 13.
Romans 13:1, let every soul be subject unto the higher powers. For there is no power but of the Most High.
Right, but there's no power of the Most High.
The powers that be are ordained of the Most High. Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of the Most High.
Right, so in other words, what is the Lord really saying? Let's get, Zechariah. Somebody can give me Zechariah. I think it's right, Zephaniah 3:8. This is what the Lord is saying. So you got to put the precepts together to get the understanding what this is really going into.
This is Zephaniah 3:8. It says, "Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey.
Right.
For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation."
And that's bottom line. That's really what it is. So we can't act based on what we feel and try to override the system because we found out who we are. We found out that Esau's the devil. We gotta chill. We gotta relax until everything is done in order. So this is saying, look, go according to the system, but not to an 100% degree, to a certain degree. But when they push that chip out there, it's like, for example, right? Most people eat pork, and most people eat all kind of bullshit, right?
Yeah.
Does that mean we're supposed to eat pork? No. Okay. Most people are okay with the idea of shaving their beards and that. Right? Because does that mean that we're supposed to just shave our beard? No. We're supposed to keep certain laws that we can keep. Right? That the society will let us keep, and that's how we do it. But when society tells us to do the quite contrary to the scriptures, like taking the beast system, fuck that. Go on, bro.
This is Luke 20:25. And he said unto them, render therefore unto Caesar the things which be Caesar's.
See, that's what I'm saying, Yahushua. It's what was Yahushua saying? Because they try to trap him up.
Yeah.
The Pharisees, they try to say that, look, so what are you saying? We're not supposed to pay taxes? So this is what he said. Let's read it again.
Luke 20 and 25. And he said unto them, render therefore unto Caesar the things which be Caesar's.
Right.
And unto the Most High the things which be, it's like unto God the things which be God's.
Exactly. So that's what we gotta do. Like, you know, brothers gotta pay their taxes. You gotta pay your taxes. You gotta do things according to the system, to a level of a degree. Okay. That's all that's saying. But that's not saying pretty much give your whole entire soul to this empire. No, it ain't saying that. But that's what the pastors are gonna do. They're gonna persuade the minds of the people to have them accept the very chip system. Go on, man.
2 Maccabees 7 and 1, it says, it came to pass also that 7 brethren with their mother were taken and compelled by the king against the law to taste swine's flesh, and were tormented with scourges and whips.
Right.
But one of them that spake first said thus, what canst thou ask or learn of us? We are ready to die rather than to transgress the laws of our fathers.
Yeah, and this is during the Greco Empire, where you had certain Israelites. They weren't falling for the rulership of the Greeks at the time. They weren't falling for their new rules, because their rules were you couldn't keep the Sabbath day, you couldn't circumcise your son on the 8th day, and you couldn't keep certain laws that they would keep that we keep. So what they were saying is do away with your laws. All right, but they weren't falling for that. Their thing was just, look, I'm willing to die rather than to eat a piece of pork. So that's the same mindset that we're going to be given in that day. We're going to be given that mindset of like, you know what? You can shove that chip where the sun don't shine.
That's right.
That's the mindset we're going to have, and we're going to just go through. We have to go through like it's nothing. Through the spirit and the power of Yahweh Shema Shai. All right. Like it says in the book of Esdras in the Apocrypha, it says something to the effect of, if we strive for the truth, the Lord shall help us, man.
Yeah.
Something to that effect. They need to go on. Yeah.
This Mark 8:36. But what shall it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his own soul?
Yeah, because that's what Esau wants everyone to do. Everybody has to be given the right to sell their soul.
Right.
Now once upon a time, it was only a few people, like your celebrities and all of those, such as your entertainers and that, they were given their right to sell their soul, but they did it by choice. But what Esau wants everybody to sell their soul to their new world order structure, pretty much to the realms of Satan. All right, that's what Esau wants, but that's not going to happen, because you're going to have a lot of rioting taking place, because you have, even amongst Esau, and they could be Jakes because they believe in the scriptures.
Yeah.
Then they're gonna, it's gonna be wars. All right, there's gonna be seditious even amongst them. All right, so you're gonna have a lot of craziness going on. You're gonna have a lot of craziness happening even amongst the people, because you're gonna have certain people that's gonna know that the mark of the beast is mature. You know?
You get those bug out guys that want to go live off religious stuff.
Yeah.
They don't want to take. They know about the RFID chip. They don't want to take it either. So it's not just going to be the men of the Lord that's going to refuse the chip, man.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of
as well. It's going to be a lot of them hardcore Christians. So yeah, that's going to cause a lot of upset, and that's going to start rolling out them troops.
Yeah.
Start forcing people to take that chip.
Yeah. That's it. What's that? You're going.
I was doing some research on the ID 2020 event that's happening, and I was doing a video on it yesterday, and it said that event is under the 501c3 charter as well. So I just wanted to bring that out. It's on the website. You see that?
Say that again. I missed that.
The ID 2020 thing where they're pushing the mark of the beast.
Yeah.
I did a video on it yesterday on my channel, and on the website I was going through it, and it says that also is under the 501c3 charter. So it's backed by the government, just like the way it is.
So I'm right on what I was saying about Romans 13. I'm right about that. Because if that's under the 501c3 charter, every church that has a 501c3 charter has to push that church. They have to do it. Let's read Romans 13 again. This is the scripture that these sellouts are going to read to the people.
It's Romans 13:1. let every soul be subject unto the higher powers. For there is no power but of the Most High.
Right, it says let every soul be subject to the higher powers. So again, that's those that are under the 501c3 charter. They're going to read this and to their people or to their followers, their congregation, to accept that chip. Because the chip is what? Under a 501c3 charter. Alright? So the Most High already covered all of the gaps. Everything's already been covered.
Yeah.
You don't even have to wait too long towards the end. We're literally at the end. Like there's no waiting towards anything. We're in the end right now. This is it. Yeah.
The powers that be are ordained of the Most High. Verse 2. Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of the Most High. And they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation.
So in other words, what you got to do is wait upon him till he rises up to the break, because the Lord set up Esau. So in other words, we have to be good boys to a certain degree and know that the Lord, he set this man up. Give me Job 9:24. And if anybody else got a scripture, just bring it out.
It's Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
Right, it says that the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Who gave the earth to the hands of the wicked? The Most High, Yahweh gave him that. You can read that in the Apocrypha. It says that the Lord, it says the power of the earth is in the hands of the Lord, and he give it to whomsoever he will. So Esau didn't just come out of the mountains of Mount Seir and decide to just say, well, what we're going to do is we're going to come out of this beastly state and we're going to rule the planet today. No. It took its time. Go on.
This is Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hand of the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord.
Yeah.
As the rivers of water turneth whithersoever he will.
Yeah, so even my guy, what's the new prime minister today? Boris Johnson. He's doing everything according to the plans of the Lord, and also his advisors and those that be above him. They're moving according to the Father's will. You know, so there's nothing that's not under the power of the Father's hands. Everything's under his hands. All right, go on. You got a quick one?
This is Psalms 110 from 1. The Lord Jehovah said unto my Lord, sit thou at my right hand until I make thine enemies thy footstool.
Right. So what was told by Yahweh Shai, to stand on the right hand until he make all of his enemies his footstool. So that's what we got to do. We got to wait and chill until everything is put in order. And really what Romans 13 is saying is just, look, we gotta obey the Most High because he set the powers up.
Yeah.
Okay, but again, does that mean that we're supposed to take the trip? Does that mean we're supposed to just eat pork, shave our beards, and be uncircumcised? No. But we just gotta chill, all right, and do what we can do to the best of our ability. Serve the Heavenly Father to the best of our ability. If you got any more on that. Yeah, read that again.
It's Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof.
Right, he covered the faces of the judges thereof. Now, when Esau came back into power, which during the Renaissance period, and during the Renaissance period, as we all should know, what they did was they whitewashed all of the dark images all around Europe, because Jake had all kind of dark art and images around the place. So they set up certain men to whitewash those images. Okay, and the main judge that they wiped out is Yahweh Shai. And turned them into a Edomite, which that's blasphemy of the Holy Spirit. Go on, bro.
This is Revelation chapter 11 verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord Was
And
crucified.
the word crucified means to be crossed out. So they crossed out the real image of what he looks like, and painted him as an Edomite. So that's how he was crucified, because he wasn't crucified in actually America. There's no historical account showing that Yahushua was crucified in the United States of America, man. He was crucified in the ancient Roman Empire. And he was pierced by the Romans. Go on.
If not, so back in Job 9:24, the cover of the faces of the judges thereof, if not wearing who is.
And we've already found who he is. We know who he is. Let's get Malachi 1 and 4. And then we're going to go back to what we had before, Romans 13. And then after that, we're going to get to the main precept, which is Ezekiel 28.
It's Malachi 1 and 4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down.
Yeah.
They shall call them the border of wickedness.
Right, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. And how do we know who Esau is today? Based on the building constructs. Like now, if you go to let's say Marble Arch, you're going to see a Romanized looking arch. If you go into the depths of even West End or Westminster, you're going to see those Romanized building constructs. So that's one way right there. That's one way showing who Esau is. By his building constructs, and also who we can tell who Esau is today is based on their lack of pigmentation. All right. Now you got our people that look like Edomites, but they're not Edomites. All right. They're of the nation of Israel, especially if they're in the truth. Okay, like you have the Irish, you have the Scots. You have who else? You have the Romanians, the Polish. A lot of them are Israelites.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, we know him based on his look too. Okay.
But also know who Esau is by his actions, man.
Right.
And that's probably the most important thing. Let me just read this.
Yeah, I was going to say that too.
Psalms 10, it says, why standest thou afar off, O Lord?
Yeah.
Why hardest thou thyself in times of trouble? The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor.
Right.
Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined.
And that's another way on how we know who the wicked is. Esau is, because that's exactly what he's doing. He's persecuting the poor. Esau has constructed his empire on every angle to oppress the nation of Israel, the people on that side. We talk about the Native American Indians, right? They got their land stolen from them. This is so that they can be pushed to a corner. Because that's all the reservations are, and the ghetto business corners. So what they've done is they've conquered the people of the Heavenly Father and pushed them to corners. All right, and oppressed them systematically. Go on, bro.
Verse 3, it says, for the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blesseth the covetous, whom the Lord abhorreth.
Right.
The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after God. Will not seek after Yahweh. Yahweh is not at all
In all his
not
thoughts.
in all his thoughts.
Yep.
His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight.
Right, and that's Esau to the 10th degree. I don't, just wait for me, brother. I'll get to you. Yeah, so that's Esau all the way through, because Esau is the quiet contrary to righteousness. So what's supposed to be, he goes up and flips everything up. That's what he does. Like, for example, you got this whole gender neutrality thing that's being pushed heavy now, where they're actually pushing the kids. Like if they see, let's say you have a son, right? This is what they're doing right now. If you have a son and he has like feminine kind of qualities, the teachers are gonna say, look, instead of naming your son Sam, we're gonna name your son Denise or Samantha.
There's a story that's happening right now.
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The man, basically the son lives with the mother. She had the full custody up until I think this week. And it's all the mother. She's coercing the son to be a daughter instead of a son.
Yep.
So, and the father had no rights in this matter. So when the son is living with the father, he's acting like a son. He's dressing like a son or whatnot.
Yep.
When he's with the mother, he still does that, but also she gets him to dress and act like a girl, and obviously she gets everyone around him to treat him as such.
Yeah.
So up until this point, you know, the father has had no rights and no say in the matter, and the mother is trying to push him into getting, gender reassignment.
Yeah. And the thing with the boy, it was ruled in the courts that they actually reversed the decision for the boy to cut his testicles out. That's the level that it's gotten to, where you got little boys now, where they have to go to the doctor and cut their genitalia off, because the teacher is saying, look, he's not a boy, he's a girl because he has feminine qualities. So they're forced to actually willfully, forcefully changing the gender of the children. This is what Esau's doing.
And this is a personal opinion of mine, but I think, because he's a twin, this boy is a twin, and I think the mother secretly wanted a daughter as well as a son, or maybe.
Yeah, you got that situation too, yeah.
So I believe that's why I think it's her more pushing it. There's a few more on this one.
Yeah, go on, yeah.
This goes on Esau, man. But back in Psalms 10 it says, verse 5, it says, his ways are always grievous.
And that's a grievous situation, man. To have your son cut his genitalia off because he's a woman, because the teacher or the mom is saying that he's a girl. You know what I mean? And then it's like you even got girls that grow up because they're growing up. All right, and they're going through different phases in that, hormones and all of that, right? So sometimes you may have a girl and she may have masculine ways about
tomboys. They call them tomboys.
Like tomboys. So if you have a girl now, you have a daughter, and she has a tomboyish or masculine type of attitude, the schools or maybe the mom can say, well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna categorize her or declare her as male, so to speak. So what they're doing is it's actually child abuse when you break it down. Parents have the power, or even the schools have the power to for the kid to change its gender. And there's no such thing as changing your gender. You are who you are, that you were born to be. All right, and let's just say if a man does cut his things off, right, that don't mean that he's gonna be a woman, because this DNA construct will always be male. As the truth is always constant, man. You can't change the truth.
What they're not saying in when it comes to kind of their privates, right? What they're not saying is 90% of those regret that they've done it, and they tend to commit suicide later on in life.
Yeah, and that's what Esau wants to do, because what's really the plan here? The game plan is to depopulate. So if we can indoctrinate the younger ones that don't know any better and indoctrinate the parents, which they already have, then we're going to depopulate the planet more so and more quickly. That's what this whole gay agenda is all about. It's all about depopulation, man. And that's why I don't cut you, brother. And that's why if you speak up against it, you can get arrested, because what we're doing, or what people like us are doing, are stopping their plan from depopulating the planet. That's right. That's what it all boils down to.
And that's why the parents are falling in line with this, because they're afraid. They're afraid to come up against the powers that be. Just finishing off Psalms 10, it says, as for all of his ways are always grievous, his judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them.
And brother, I don't mean to cut you, right? But I want to say this too, because what did Yahweh say? In the beginning, he said, be fruitful and multiply. What does Esau do? Depopulate. Find ways to depopulate mankind. So that's how we know that this is Esau, man. Because his judgments are what? Grievous.
Verse 6. He hath said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity.
Right, and that's their mindset. It says that in we're gonna get into Ezekiel 28 now. Go on. You're giving me Ezekiel 28.
Verse 7, his mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity.
Right, and fraud, and under his tongue is mischief and vanity. So everything that Esau speaks on is all based on trouble at the end of the day. If people take hold of what he's saying, it's gonna end in some kind of trouble. You know, and this is why this man has been taken out of power. This is why the Edomites have to be taken out of freaking power, man. Because if they're not taken out of power anytime soon, we'll all be dead. But it's gonna happen anyway. It's all gonna happen. Go on, bro.
It's like a full intervention. this ID 2020 thing they're going to start pushing in 2020, so that's the mark of the beast.
Yep.
I just wanted to make a point. It's only 66 days until that. So that's
Wow.
how close we are to them starting to push this hard.
Okay. Say that again, brother. 60
Right.
what?
The ID 2020 thing is they're going to be pushing the mark of the beast in 2020, and right now it's only 66 days until the end of the year, which means we're only 66 away from them making a big push.
So they're going
for
to
the mark
push
of
it.
the beast.
They're going to push it.
That number as well. Was a bit-
66.
The number of it,
Yeah.
666.
666, yep. Because he saw there was a numerology. That's what we got to do too, brothers. We got to also build numerology. Because I'm kind of getting that numerology spirit
And the
now.
2/3.
Yep.
And the 2/3.
Yeah, 66%.
0.6%. And who's going to take
They're
that
going to take
shit?
that. They're the ones that are going to take
Ah,
that shit.
see? That's powerful right there. You see that? So that's the whole thing. But like I said, that's something that I'm kind of getting into nowadays, is the whole numerology thing. Like the number 33. The number 33 is like it's a number of like 3 symbolizes resurrection. You know? And what is it? The number 8 symbolizes glory. I mean, it means glory, so to speak. You know? I mean, 33 is a powerful number, though. I think it means master, something to that effect. Master teacher or something to that effect.
Getting into the like we said last week when you do the Scottish rites or the English rites of Freemasonry, the 33rd degree is
Right.
when you're at the top level. You're the mark.
You're the master.
level.
Yep. And that's why Yahweh Shai died at the age of 33. And he also, if I'm correct, he passed away on the 3rd hour. Am I correct? It was the 3rd hour. So he was 33 and passed away on the 3rd hour. Which the number 3 also represents, again, resurrection. When he was in the grave, he was in the grave for 3 days, and he rose back up again. So that was all symbolic of Israel being resurrected. This is why we're standing here right now. In the 3rd day, pursuant to the book of Hosea, the 6th chapter.
Psalm 17 and 13.
Yep.
Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy soul.
And he's going to do that. We're singing over the signs. The signs are declaring the end, right? So the Lord is going to deliver his elect. It's evident. It's preordained. You know, we see it. It's very clear. Because this world, as it stands, it's just going to get worse. Everything's going to get worse. Everything's going to get out of hand. And you're going to start hearing things, seeing things that we haven't even seen before. All right? Because, I mean, it's getting out of line, man. This world is getting out of line. It's gotten to the point where I'm gonna repeat myself again. Your children are being forced to be something that they're not. Your sons have to cut his genitalia off to be classified as woman. That's how far it's gotten.
Yeah, man. It says, look, a lot of these people are saying to you, telling you that, you know, your children are old enough at those ages of 3 years old to understand this. You know, but who ask anybody who's grown up overseas, did they even understand anything like that at the age of 3?
No, they don't understand anything, man.
You don't understand anything. That's why you have your mother and your father to teach you the way. And that's what the scripture says, bring up a child in the way that he should go.
Right.
Because that's you do it from the young age so that they will carry that on.
Yeah.
And that's why Esau's doing the same thing. Because he knows,
Yeah.
you know, years from now,
Yeah.
if he had years from now that is, which he doesn't, but generations from now,
Yeah.
all the kids will be under that
Same
under that
plot.
doctrine.
Yeah. And they already doing it as it stands. They're judging your kid based on his actions. When he's going through a phase or she's going through a phase. You see, because the only thing that Esau wants to do is to depopulate. That's the key agenda. So the school systems, which are what you would call brainwashing centers, right? Which is a part of government. These schools are set up to not only do what's right or to gain knowledge for yourself, but it's really there. The schools are there programming your children to be the way the government wants them to be. All right, because when you're dealing with the average person, even in England, they don't know nothing, man. The average peon don't know a damn thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Same thing in America. It's I said that America is the most uninformed nation on the face of the earth. So if America is so high and mighty and so great, how come the people are so goddamn stupid?